Good girl. How are we going, everybody? Look at that, the sun's coming out. It's still about 8-9 degrees out here. I've just taken my jacket off because it's doing a bit of gardening, warming up. And that's a good way to keep the body nice and warm and lubricated. Get out there and dig a hole. Just checking on my broad beans. These are planted very late. They've come up, as you can see, with June, July, August. No, they'll be okay. They should be coming up by the end of the month. We should get some decent growth, but the weather isn't allowing for it. But also, about a week ago, not even, Cara, I know, you're so clingy. This dog here, oh, just wants to be next to me all the time. Come on, sit down. But this garden bed here, about a week ago, we planted some garlic, and look at that, finally come up. Not as fast as I anticipated, not as fast as where some other people have planted and watched them grow. There's another one there. Is there another one under here? Yep, there it is. See, they are. There they are. They're all coming up. Good thing to go out there and monitor your garden, folks, especially with the high rains that we're having. Now, I know a lot of you in New South have copped a lot of heavy rains, and even far north Queensland. And I'm sure you're quite adapted to it by now, but for us in Victoria, which hasn't rained like this for a while, or been so damp underfoot for such a long period, especially winter, we've got to pay attention to our gardens and see if they're not holding too much water. Wet feet is the first sign of death, dieback. Well, the first sign of wet feet is dieback and rotting, and that's a bad thing to happen to your plants because it's pretty hard to get rid of and stop it once it gets a strong hold of your plant's root system. So go out there, aerate it, get your garden fork if you need to, and just dig in the tines and just wiggle it around a little bit if you need to get some airflow through the base of it. If it's a heavy base sort of clay soil, you need to dig some organic matter like mulch and straw and bark. It's so important that you do that, otherwise your plants will struggle. And like here, have a look at this quickly. We've got a bit of, see the moss growing there, or the fungi? That's from the superfood, which is a good bacteria, but look, we've got them all coming up. There should be another one in here. It hasn't quite come up. Pull back the mulch like I am doing now. There's another one. Here they are. Look at that. They're all in incognito. There's another one there. They're all going to pop up, folks, over time, but it's a good idea to help it along if you think there's just a little bit too much water. Mulch is important for the garden bed to retain the moisture, keep the heat in, keep the cool out, and stop it from breaking down or dehydrating, that is, the soil surface, keeping the bacteria alive. But when it's too wet and the mulch is too thick, that could also work in reverse and cause more harm than good. So go back, thin out the layers, make sure it's not too wet, and you can push the mulch back straight away once it starts to dry out or when the sun comes out. For more great products like we have here, vasilisgarden.com is where you'll find it all. Superfood, like I said, the Mark 1, we need to clear out the warehouse to make room for Mark 2 variety coming out very soon. All at vasilisgarden.com, Coburg and Lethbridge site for click and collect, or walk into Coburg anytime you like. From me, Vasili, Maresi.